But I was thinking a little about the all-lady flight to space, courtesy of Jeff Bezos this week. And at first, I didn't think much of it. We kind of joked about it. I said, boy, it would have been nice if they thought that it was as heroic that Elon Musk used his space technology to go rescue astronauts and save people in emergency disaster zones, but they didn't. They made him out to be a villain. 5 rich ladies go up on a rich guy's rocket for 10 seconds, and they're heroines now. And the reason it struck me again this week is given all that we're watching from the Trump administration in trying to defend angel families, in trying to defend women in their sports, in their private spaces, in their locker rooms, from men pretending they're women. Defending Jewish students on the campuses of Ivy League universities from anti-Semitism and being harassed going to class. Trying to defend taxpayers. The Trump administration is doing nothing but trying to defend. What's the left doing? Shouting about the oligarchy and shooting rich ladies who vote for Democrats up in space. And they're mad at you about it. They're mad at you that you don't appreciate them. Gayle King is actually mad that there's been criticism. And when I heard this yesterday, I thought to myself, is that really? She must, if she feels the need to tell these celebrity shows, the extras and the ETs and all of them, she's been running around belly aching. Has any of you heard this? Gayle is mad this week because people are not giving her her props, her due respect. These women did something heroic, damn it, and you are to treat them as such. Heroes. Don't you get it?
Absolutely, Chris. I mean, I can't remember how much this mission cost for them to go on, and it's a mission, by the way. This was very heroic. They said they were in space for a few seconds to the tune of millions of dollars. Okay,
that's right. Here's Gayle, 1558, letting you know she's a hero, damn it, and don't you forget it.
This is what bothers me, because I've certainly read some of the things online coming from people that I know, that I like, that I consider friends. And this is what I would say to that. Space is not an either or, it's a both and. And because you do something in space doesn't mean you're taking anything away from Earth. And what you're doing in space is trying to make things better here on Earth. What Blue Origin wants to do is take the waste here and figure out a way to put it in space to make our planet cleaner. I mean, Jeff Bezos has so many ideas, and the people that are working there are really devoted and dedicated to making our planet a better place. That's number one. Number two, have you been? Have you been? If you've been and you still feel that way after you come back, please let's have a conversation. Number three, please don't call it a ride. That is not a friggin' ride. Whenever a man goes up, you have never said to an astronaut, boy, what a ride. You know, we duplicated the same trajectory that Alan Shepard did back in the day, pretty much. No one called that a ride. It was called a flight. It was called a journey, because a ride implies that it's something frivolous or something that's lighthearted. There was nothing frivolous about what we did and the machine that we were on, and what it took for the people to get that machine up and running, to get us up and get us back down safely. So, you know, I'm very disappointed and very saddened by it. And I also say this. What it's doing to inspire other women and young girls, please don't ignore that. I've had so many women and young girls reach out to me, and men too, by the way, men too, that say, wow, I never thought I could do that, but I see you doing it at this stage of my life. Who would have thunk it? Not me. And how inspired they are.
Have you ever heard such self-important nonsense in your entire life? I mean, if you wanted textbook narcissism displayed, if somebody came to you and said, what's narcissism? Play them the Gayle King clip. In the middle of a week where we're talking about angel moms who've lost their daughters, bludgeoned and beaten by illegal aliens, in a week where Democrats are defending illegal aliens and trying to spring them from prisons. You know, we're talking about autism. We're talking about big things to help the country and protect its citizens. Gayle King is mad, damn it, that you don't give her her due respect. It was not a ride. Don't you call it a ride. And by the way, girls and women are reaching out to me Because I'm an inspiration. Damn it. What we did inspired girls and women. I would love to see one note. I want Gayle to produce one note of a young girl that emailed her and said, "Thank you, Gayle. I'm now inspired to become an astronaut because of you." Gayle King, the astronaut now. Right. Now, on the same day that she's out belly aching and demanding respect, and incidentally, if you go search this, if you're interested in it, I'm going somewhere with this, it is fascinating the number of leftists. Remember, go back to the Breakfast Club. That's the show that speaks for all black people. Remember, Charlemagne Tha God. They talk to black people. Gayle King is also black. And so it bears repeating, given what you just heard from Gayle King there, 1574 again. Number 1574. Listen to this conversation at the Breakfast Club.
What do you call the streets, though? Because, I mean, Bernie and AOC did just have 36,000 people in that.
Well, there's still a demographic, people that are not involved at all. People that don't give a damn about none of this. Bernie Sanders' demographic, and I'm just going to be honest, the progressive demographic, the Rainbow Coalition, is white liberals, pretty much, white progressives. There's still a lack of talking to those that have completely given up, completely disenfranchised. Obviously,
So by a lack of talking to people who have completely given up and feel disenfranchised, don't you suppose she probably means a rich lady on the CBS morning show screaming at people about how she's a hero and an astronaut and don't you dare disrespect her? You think maybe that's who she's talking about, Fast Eddie?
Yeah. My gosh. It's just, yes.
Juxtapose all this yesterday with, let's start with something, it's equally as serious, but it's a little lighter because the subject matter was so awful and heavy. But let's just start with something a little lighter over the Department of Justice. 1563, friend of this show, Riley Gaines.
Truthfully, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated that we have to be here, that we as women have to stand before you all on national television demanding equal opportunities, demanding privacy in areas of undressing, demanding safety in our sports. Amazing to me that we are still here fighting this fight, that the Democratic Party has really doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down on their ridiculous stance, but that's exactly what they've done.
Riley Gaines gets more notes from women and girls in this country on any given day of the week than Gayle King has gotten on her entire rocket ride thing, I guarantee you, if she's gotten one. Just so we're clear, that's a woman who stands up for women. That's a woman who is an actual advocate for women. That's a woman who inspires other women to stand up and fight and be heard. Your little rocket ride with your gal pal billionaires, Gayle, didn't do jack squat to advance womanhood. In fact, you continue to support a party that believes men make the best women and intrude on our women and girls in their sports and their private spaces. You're not doing anything for women. Never mind that most women could never afford what you and your rich gal pals just did. You self-important, smug, self-righteous, sanctimonious, out-of-touch snob. Scott Jennings, CNN, 1560. On another note, other people fighting for real people.
I think as a political matter, if you went out and argued that to the American people right now and said, well, we're just not going to make it as a country unless we give $9 billion to Harvard that's sitting on $53 billion, you'd get your ass kicked, I imagine, in a political campaign. Now, don't misunderstand. I wish Harvard would actually work something out here. I do agree that these universities are important. They do important work. But I don't agree that we need to continue to fund people who won't listen to us when we say, you have problems. I would argue that it's a national security problem that these Ivy League colleges are turning out people who fundamentally hate Western civilization.
And 1577, Patti Morin, mother of a murdered woman at the hands of an illegal.
To have a senator from Maryland who didn't even acknowledge or barely acknowledged my daughter and the brutal death that she endured, leaving her 5 children without a mother and now a grandbaby without a grandmother, so that he can use my taxpayer money to fly to El Salvador to bring back someone that's not even an American citizen.
So that's real people doing real things and speaking on behalf of real Americans. Gayle King, for your information.
The Chris Stigall Show podcast.